Joining me at Edgar Street, Hereford head coach Mark Richards. Pleasing results, certainly in the end. What a transformation after half time.
Yeah, no, it was. Performance levels like I've been going on about over the last sort of 10 games have been consistently pretty good. And first half they weren't anywhere near where they have been in recent weeks, but I think you saw in the second half where these boys can get to in terms of what they can produce. Having said that, first half we did have a lot of shots and a lot of chances, but we just weren't where we have been in previous weeks, and obviously gave us a massive sort of uphill struggle for the second half. But to be fair to the boys, they've done extremely well and obviously managed to turn it around.
How much of a difference did you think Kyle Finn made? Because he certainly pepped up, to my mind, Hereford's attack.
Brilliant. It's exactly the reaction we want from somebody who hasn't been playing and starting regularly to come off the bench and have such an impact that it changes the game. It's great because we've obviously Kyle's come from Coventry and he's come and committed to Hereford, and his attitude's been spot on. I'm just really glad that he could have that sort of end product to his game, which he did have when he first came in, and then he sort of stuttered a little bit and performance levels weren't where they need to be, and he's just shown us what he can do. So not only that, you get Lance coming off the bench as well and obviously grabbing a goal, which is superb. So yeah, pleasing second half.
3 penalty appeals at least. You got the fortunate one with a handball. Did you see that as handball?
I didn't see it, but to be honest, I think we were good value for the result at the end of the 90 minutes. You look at some of the chances their keepers pulled off 2, 3, 4 really, really good saves. So I've been saying to the boys for probably the best part of 5 or 6 weeks that we will go and put 4 or 5 on somebody at some point, and I'm just glad that they managed to do that in 45 minutes, because being 2-0 down at half time, obviously we needed that. So yeah, fair play to them, and we probably could have scored a couple more.
What was the inspiration at half time? Because things were a bit flat, 2-0 down.
I think it's that turning point in the season, and that's what we know we're at a situation where we're not a million miles from the bottom 3, and obviously sort of mid-table and playoffs sort of slightly out of sight. So it's like, what do you want your season to look like, lads? We've got 10 games, this one included, to be able to go and do something with this season. And they obviously we had a slight change of shape to the start of the second half, and that helped us get a little bit more on the front foot. And then I thought, as soon as that confidence grew after getting the first goal, I thought we were going to go on and score a few more. So yeah, really pleased that we've managed to come out with 3 points.
It's so important here at Edgar Street to get that victory, and that'll lift things surely.
Yeah, we've been saying it from day one, haven't we, in terms of getting the performance levels right, and then the points will follow. And it just shows what the boys can do when they get the performance levels right, because second half we managed to put 4 goals past a pretty decent team. You saw that from the first half. We gave them a sloppy one, but obviously a great strike for the first. And I think we had 19 shots on goal. We just looked at it, 19 shots at goal. So that's really encouraging from my perspective, especially when you look at our goals for record that hasn't been sort of stand out this season.
9 points clear now of the drop zone. Is that enough?
Nope.
What sort of target are you giving the players then over the next few games?
Well, it's like it has been from day one. Work as hard as we possibly can to get as many points on the board as we possibly can, and we'll just see where we end up at the end of the season. There's no point me giving targets to the lads, because I want to win every single game. They want to win every single game. So there's no point of setting targets. It's just important that they work on the processes, work on the performances, and the points, and should surely come.
I know you're really pleased to see Lance Smith back in Herefordshire, because he's been through the wars really this season.
Yeah, he's been class, and we've worked with him as well in terms of giving him quite a bit of time away to get his rehab sorted, and obviously to get him back involved. He's come through 2 training sessions with us. Great to have him in the 16 today, and obviously to come off the bench and grab a goal was just the icing on the cake. So really, really pleased for Lance, because he's a great kid. Game
again on Tuesday, Brackley here, and that will be a tough game.
Yeah, I've just seen that they've beat Stockport 1-0, so yeah, it'll be a tasty game Tuesday evening. But Brackley have been consistently in that sort of top 4 or 5 over the last sort of 4 or 5 seasons, so we know what they'll come with. And again, we will have to obviously dust ourselves down, see where we're at in terms of any knocks and niggles, and prepare like we have been for Tuesday evening.
Thanks for your time.
Cheers, guys.
You didn't have your new young striker on the bench today. Was that tactical, or?
It was the fact that Lance got through in terms of giving us that attacking option off the bench, and just getting the right balance. You've got Theo, you've got Jaquil, and you've got James as well. and then you've got Finney as well. So it's just trying to get that balance of just trying to get all positions covered for that sub-bench. So Cam was here today. You know, and like I said, I think I only said it the other day, is that the more competition we get, it makes my job harder, but ultimately it's better for the team because we've got more competition. And if I have to leave 2 or 3 out of the squad, then you know it's a good position to be in because obviously the competition for places is stronger. So yeah, look, Cam's obviously been with us sort of 3.5 weeks now, and he was here today, but he obviously wasn't in the squad.
What was your impressions of that first half? Because it really was a contrast in 2 halves, wasn't it, for the fans' reactions?
Yeah, so performance-wise, nowhere near where we need to be. Actual attempts on goal, we probably should have scored 2, at least 2 in the first half. So really frustrating from a performance levels where we've been at, because we just weren't on it. We looked lethargic, we were sloppy. You know, you have to look at the second goal. It was just a mistake from us. You look at the first goal, we're not around the seconds. We give him far too much time. He's hit it really well, but we still probably had more attempts on goal than they did. Weren't ruthless enough, weren't clinical enough, and then obviously we saw that second half, and you know, you saw the body language of everybody. The tempo and everything was up second half. So I'm just glad that the boys have shown what they can do. We just need to put it all together for 90 minutes because we will be a real threat in this league.
Do you feel that playing down towards the Meadow end in the first half didn't perhaps help?
No, I don't think that. I don't think we're going to use that as an excuse. You can find whatever excuse you want. I just, you know, you look at the first 10 minutes at FC United, we weren't on it. We were sloppy, we concede. You know, a big thing here was trying to get that 10-15 minute spell. We knew that, you know, they'd played. I went to watch them Tuesday night against Telford, and Telford were 2-0 up within the first 16 minutes. So they'd had a long journey Tuesday, a long journey again today. So we were saying that first 10-15 minutes, don't give them anything. Make sure you're on the. And it's great because whatever you say, it usually ends up coming to, you know, kick you in the behind. And it did. They scored, I think, after 11 minutes. So frustrating that performance levels weren't there in the first half, but the second half more than made up for it. So yeah, it's a nice little vibe, a nice little buzz in there at the moment.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.